There's been a lot of rumors in the city about what's happening with the bodies. As of late last night, we started to see bodies being picked up by front loaders, bulldozer-like equipment, and then being dumped into dump trucks and then carted off. It wasn't really known where those bodies were going. There were rumors some were being burned. What we found today was at least one series of mass graves far on the outskirts of the city of Port-au-Prince, out near the mountains, in a field. We followed a dump truck and discovered what is just a mass grave in this field. There were 3 or 4 pits that were still open that were about half filled. We saw probably as many as 50 or 60 bodies lying either in the pits, or some of them had just been dumped into piles out on the ground. And at first, when you looked at them, it was hard to tell what they were. They were wrapped up, some of them in cloth. Some of the bodies were still tied to doors that people had used as stretchers. There was even one body that was stuffed into an old refrigerator that someone had used to carry that body to where it was left. And it's, in Sri Lanka we saw this. We saw mass graves, and often in natural disasters, because of the question of getting bodies buried in time, mass graves are a common thing. But in Sri Lanka there was organization, and they at least photographed the bodies so loved ones might be able to identify them. Here, there is no such organization. These people are simply being dumped into pits and covered over, and then more people piled on top of them. And as for their loved ones, unless they saw that person die and saw the body for themselves, they may never know what actually happened, and we may never know exactly how many people died here, Wolf.
So there's no record, as far as you can tell, that's being kept, names, identification numbers of individuals. People are simply disappearing.
Absolutely. I mean, we were there long enough that another dump truck came while we were there. One driver got out of the vehicle, another person got behind the wheel, and they just dumped another load of human remains, another 25 to 30 people we estimated, into this pit, and then literally drove off. I mean, there could be American citizens in there. There's certainly a lot of Haitians in there. There's no telling who these people are, and there's certainly no records that I could tell being kept of how many people are being buried in these mass graves.
How worried are the experts there, Anderson? Yes, thousands have died in the earthquake, but now many more people potentially could die in the aftermath of disease that they're getting because of a lack of medical equipment or antibiotics or other medicine.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that people are dying today and died yesterday and died the day before that because of, it's stupid deaths. I mean, deaths that didn't need to occur if they had access to antibiotics, or if they had access to a doctor who could treat their wounds, or if they had access to a surgeon who could amputate a limb so that gangrene didn't spread and course through their whole body. So, people are dying today because enough aid is not in the right place, and there are not enough personnel to help those people. And there's a lot of stuff in the pipeline, and we've all been reporting on that. But it's obviously incredibly frustrating for people here, and people are losing their lives. You can break a leg here, Wolf, and have an open wound, and that can lead to an infection, and you can die of sepsis in a relatively short period of time, I'm told. So, it's hard to believe that just something like a broken leg can end up killing you. But that's the situation here. Without antibiotics, without proper treatment, people are dying of things that no one in this day and age should be dying of.
Anderson, before I let you go, is there any semblance of a Haitian government there, police, other law enforcement authorities, or is all of that simply collapsed?
No, I don't think it's fair to say it's collapsed. Driving around a lot today in Port-au-Prince, I saw Haitian police outside gas stations. There are long lines for gas. People can be, it would be very easy for people to start fighting over access to those gas pumps. There were Haitian police, well-dressed in well-pressed uniforms, standing with guns outside 2 gas stations that I saw. So that, to me, is a sign of, all right, there's some organization of the Haitian police force. They're there, at key points. Believe it or not, traffic lights are working, oddly enough. I mean, there's no electricity throughout much of the city, but for some reason, at least in a lot of places I was on, traffic lights seem to be working, and people seem to be kind of obeying those lights. And look, it's clearly some sort of Haitian government effort that is collecting these bodies. I saw a bulldozer down this street. That's the first bulldozer I've actually seen working today. We're seeing a lot more search and rescue teams driving around, and I saw a UN a group of Bolivian peacekeepers who on their own had just gone to a poor neighborhood, had 2 trucks with prepared food, a hot meal, and in a very orderly way, they were handing out hot meals to people who were in this makeshift encampment. So you're seeing some organization, but there's no central organization, Wolf, and that's probably the most important thing. No one really knows where the worst affected areas are. There's not a sense of like, okay, the next team that arrives should go here. It doesn't seem like there's any one group. The UN has a coordinating body. U.S. military is going to be coordinating a lot of things from the airport. But you don't feel much of a Haitian government presence. Clearly, the onus is going to be on international forces and the United States.